Hi, it's Joy, and today I'm watching Agents of S.h.i.e.L.D. Season 5, Episode 20, The One Who Will Save Us All. We're getting really close to the finale now, and I cannot wait any longer to watch this episode. Let's go. Here we go! It's really only a small spaceship. This is so cool. I'm sure this is going to go really well. By himself? He should not have gone by himself. Oh gosh. Oh, not that stuff. Why did Matt go by himself? Well done, Matt.
I feel like we're seeing this adventure a little differently. Adattonium? Why?
You see, this is my ship.
Easy, buddy.
Your impudent tone is only good.
I said this is my ship!
You're dead.
That's better. Then kneel before me!
This is really not going to end up well. Very high-dressed music. He will get past.
In the end, all I did was carry out Hydra's agenda.
Yep.
Ruby died for nothing. And it was all my fault.
Yep.
Daisy Johnson went into the machine.
Actually, it was someone a little more out of the box.
You can say that again.
Yeah. Fixing old electronics was kind of my thing back in the day.
I love Deke.
What are you doing?
What? It's a thing. It's a thing that people do to celebrate.
Not cool people. Come on, man. You're better than that.
I love Deke so much. That was almost the first nice interaction Pictures ever had with Deke. He tried to initiate a high five. It's learning.
Tal, for some reason I'm still hanging around this rusty drain pipe.
Well, you do have family here.
Yeah, I don't think it's that. Oh, well, don't get me wrong. You guys are great.
Fitz, you've been nothing but horrible to him until today.
Is anyone there?
Might stay for
Ruby,
Simmons.
Lighthouse, this is Daisy Johnson. Does anyone copy?
Yeah, we're here, Daisy. Sorry, we just had some technical difficulties.
Teak, thank God you're there. I've been trying to get through for 30 minutes.
I hate this, them all hating each other. I know, they thought. We're the final season, let's make all our characters hate each other and fight each other the whole time.
People died.
Don't put that on me.
She had no way of knowing that was going to happen. I hate this.
Everyone killed.
How do I look?
Pretty cool, actually.
I can probably get the boys to rustle you up one if you want it.
I'm good. Not much of a robes guy.
I love Daisy so much.
What's in the bag?
My mom.
Yeah.
Oh. I heard about your little dust up. I just want to make sure you're all right.
I've been better. It's like the universe keeps reminding me that I should never have come back from the future.
Oh, Daisy.
Also, some creep put a bunch of lemons on my bed. Some weird sort of.
Yes! The lemons.
Sounds like classic Fitz. Look, I feel like you're exactly where you're supposed to be. On the other hand, I lived in the lighthouse my entire life, only to time travel into the past and still spend every single day of my life inside the freaking lighthouse. So it's like even without Kasai's gone, this place just has this leash that keeps pulling me back in.
Well, I'm glad you stuck around, even if it's a little crazy.
Well, maybe it's not that crazy. I've been wanting to tell you something since we've gotten, I don't want to say closer, but...
You really don't.
Deke.
Everyone who gets close to me ends up dying.
Me too. And that's why I feel like we have so much in common.
Mom.
No, I know, and...
Lincoln.
Who's Lincoln?
Lincoln Campbell. He was the first Inhuman that I became close with. He fought at our side and he died. he died for me, really. Right when we were getting going, or, you know, getting good.
It sounds like you were really in love with this guy.
Yeah.
Kinda still am.
Oh God.
Which is why I can't lose someone else. And Coulson means more to me than anyone. And if he goes...
No. We're gonna find a way to save him.
Sorry, you were gonna tell me
Oh,
something.
I thought about Aberdeen. That's not why I'm crying.
Yeah, Fitzsimmons are my grandparents.
What? Wait, what?
I know.
Are you serious?
Mm-hmm.
Do they know?
Yeah. Cat's totally out of the food sack.
Oh my God, that makes so much sense. You and Fitz are both so... You're such special people.
Good. I was worried that was gonna make things weird between us.
Wait, why would it make things weird?
Oh.
No reason.
Oh, Deke. I'm sorry, I got really emotional because I was apparently one of the few, but Daisy and Lincoln were very important to me. I love them so much. I've never cried at a TV show as much as I did when Lincoln died. Like, about an hour later, I was still sobbing, and the friend who'd watched it with me was like, oh my God, what do I do? She's broken. So Daisy saying she's still in love with Lincoln. Oh, and that... Oh. It's realistic, it's true, it's what Lincoln deserves, it's... I mean, what their love deserved. Like, I'm not saying that Daisy has to be in love with him forever and never move on. Of course not. I want her to move on and find someone and be happy. But they're not disrespecting their love, and that is important to me, given that most fans seem to not think it mattered.
No place for a human amongst us.
You're dead.
Your mistake is thinking I'm still human.
By having Yo-Yo execute a kid.
Yep.
Things got messy, but I mean, it was the only way that Yo-Yo...
When does killing become the only way? We're S.h.i.e.L.D. Aren't we supposed to be better than that?
Yep.
None of this would have
get why
happened
they
if
did
you
it,
would have just
but,
said
yeah.
this invincible nonsense wasn't real. But instead, you and Simmons lit the match, and now Yo-Yo's responsible for a girl's
I'm
death.
sorry, Mac. I really am.
You need to look inside yourself and figure out what kind of man you want to be. Because lately, what you've been, it needs fixing.
I just hate this. I'm sure other people are enjoying it, but for me, I can't enjoy the show as much as I did with them all being so at odds with each other.
Rather macabre, isn't it?
Just you wait.
You coming with?
Yeah, I just need to get out of the White House.
So you're going on a space mission to a hostile alien ship?
Yeah, well, I don't have that many options.
This is Zephyr 1.
I'm really worried something bad's gonna happen to Deke.
Tarian, master of the Huskissars.
They're manipulating you.
Astronauts say deposits of gravitonium under the Earth's surface.
Oh God.
And you...
Yep, he's lost it. This is a hell of a test run of this technology. So cool.
Probably should have talked you out of this.
What? No, this is great. I'm going to space. Again.
Thanks for coming along.
I need them all to start working things out. Thanks for giving me the fun job.
We're here to help. What are you doing?
It's gone crazy. I'm very
S.h.i.e.L.D.
scared.
is not your enemy.
At least Daisy's gonna meet Gravitonium in space, not on Earth.
Crossing.
Put Coulson down and we can talk about that.
Agent Johnson always in the center of the storm. Maybe that's because you're the problem.
If I'm the one you want,
Fuck
fine.
off.
I won't resist, but first you have to put Coulson down.
You and I both.
I'm not gonna warn her. You probably deserve prison rather than death, but... Oh God. Oh.
that weapon, Agent May, and Coulson dies just like Hill.
And yet it still has gifts to give. I look forward to taking mine home.
No. No, I'm not waiting on this for a week. No. 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 Why do I have to suffer like this? Always. So first... Oh. Talbot. I mean, Talbot is fully gone now, isn't it? The Talbot we knew is no longer there. So that is sad for that Talbot, but he has to be stopped now. I'd like to think there would be some way for them to save him, to pull the gravitonium out of him, but we'll see what happens there. My biggest thing with this series, the second half of this series, has been... I hate how the team is so fractured, and it's a fracture where they're all really angry, and there have been so many points to happen. Like, hopefully in the next episode they'll build on that and they'll make it better, or they'll begin to start to make it better. And there's been the tiniest little fractions of that, but for the most part they're just making it worse and worse, and I'm not enjoying that at all. But I'm still loving the show. I'm still enjoying most of it. Just that the core of this show is that the team is a family, and families can fight and have problems, but they still love each other. And all we're seeing is fighting and clashing and clashing and fighting and fighting and fighting. And they're all making questionable choices of different kinds. The thing is, the questionable choices they're making are different levels. It's not like they're all on a par of questionable choices. So I think, and all the choices they've made that have been questionable, there's been a reason behind it, because ultimately they are a team. But some of them you'd think, well, the reason wasn't good enough, or that's just not the way the team does things, and I can see both sides, but I don't enjoy all of the fighting. Sort of Infinity War tie-ins, but not too much. I like that the show isn't trying too hard to try and make sure that the Infinity War is included in it, because the movies don't do the same back, and Agents of S.h.i.e.l.d. is better than the movies. I love the movies, but S.h.i.e.l.d. is far better than the movies. Mac, standing true to his morals, I really respect. I do hope that he's able to still patch things up with Yo-Yo, obviously, and not die. I mean, I really appreciated Fitz apologising to Mac. I mean, he still believes in what he did, but he apologised, which I think is something that... I think part of my problem was he never apologised to Daisy in that way. I know she came at him angry, but Mac came at him angry, and Fitz looked sincere with his apology. He didn't say, like, he still was kind of... I know that right after he did it he apologised, but I mean, like, at a time when Daisy wasn't strapped to a table in a terrible state. Like, when they were talking about it, if he'd been more sincere with his apologies... I mean, I'm not saying he wasn't sincere when he said he was sorry for it, but he would have done it again. He never sort of had that... I never saw from him towards her in that moment the same kind of level of, I know what I did was horrible for you, but it had to be done. It was kind of just, well, it had to be done, get over it. And that's what really angered me with Fitz, his attitude towards Daisy. But the way he was with Mac, if we had a scene like that with him and Daisy, even if her response to it had been still angry, I'd have been much happier with Fitz. She'd have had a right to still be angry, but it's all tangled. What else is there to talk about? Coulson, I'm glad that they're on a path to try and save him. I think, although it's kind of crossing a line, it's not such a big line. There's no currently signs of anyone getting directly hurt by what they're doing, so that's okay. Fitz and Deke, there was actually some improvement from Fitz there. Like, he was nice to Deke. You know, he tried to high-five him, which is a friendly thing to do. The first time Fitz has ever been friendly to Deke. I mean, and then Fitz's shock when Deke was like, he's not just staying for his family. I mean, Simmons has been nothing but nice to Deke. I could see him wanting to stay for her, but Fitz has only ever been horrible to Deke. So, I mean, I'm hoping that's going to change now. I've been wanting that to change. And then Deke's, I love Deke's infatuation with Daisy. I mean, it's a thing that I ship, but like I don't actually expect it to happen. I don't really ship it hardcore. Yeah, I suppose, but I don't. I think I love it so much. It's such a good... It just adds a lot of... sort of a light thing with all the dark going on, but it's also a thing where Daisy's awesome and Deke, you know, he's never met anyone like her, and of course he's going to fall in love with her. So I love that. But their scene together... I mean, I would have loved for those two to just be friends, you know. I love their dynamic that they've had that's built up over these episodes. I'm not needing it to be anything romantic, but I love it. And when Deke wanted to tell her, and then she mentioned Lincoln, and the way she talked about him, and the fact that she said that she's still in love with him, just... I love them together. I know that's a very unpopular opinion, but I loved them together. I didn't want to love them together. I remember their first kiss. I went online and everyone had been like, oh, what are they doing? it made me cry. Like, if I'd been doing reactions to season 3, I'd unexpectedly crying with how much I loved them together. And so when he died, I knew it was coming. I was scared it was going to happen. I even asked someone who watches it ahead of me, just let me know, is it Lincoln? Because I knew that I couldn't be surprised by it. And so I went into it aware of what happened. I was a wreck for about an hour after it happened. I mean, the sobbing stopped after about half an hour, because they meant so much to me. And I was also upset for Daisy. It wasn't just the relationship, it was that Daisy had lost him and would blame herself. But I love this show for the way they have treated that. Because my biggest fear was, in a lot of shows, a character dies and the other characters are maybe sad for about half a season, occasionally mentioning them, but it dies down. Whereas in life, that's not how mourning people works. It dies, it gets less, you get able to cope with it more. But like season 4, I never understood anyone who shipped Daisy with Robbie Reyes. Not because I didn't love Robbie, but because she was so clearly still mourning Lincoln that if anything it would have been a weird rebound thing that in another time and place maybe, but it was obviously not happening there and then. And I saw someone recently commenting on someone else's reaction when I was looking at their comments, saying that, you know, oh, I hate Daisy and Deke, the concept of that, because she's had a love interest every season. And it's like, well, she had Ward in season 1, but that very quickly died off. Season 2, she met Lincoln and they kind of had like the beginnings of their relationship, which is why it happened so early in season 3. But she has Lincoln in season 3. She had no love interest in season 4. There was not a love interest for Daisy in season 4. There was a friend, she made a friend with Robbie, but it was not a love interest. And even in season 5, you've got Deke loves her, but she doesn't feel it back. I think she likes him as a friend. I think, you know, he's growing on her as much as she doesn't want him to, but as of right now, it is not a love interest because it is one way at this segment. And maybe in the future, I mean, I'm 100% open to, in the future, that being a two-way street. I think they actually have such a cool dynamic. I really like them together. And this, you know, I made a vow that I was never going to ship Daisy with anyone else because of how much Lincoln's death hurt me. And so this season, the fact that I'm feeling anything towards Daisy and Deke is a miracle for me. So they gel well together. But I'm not expecting them to come a bit. But basically, this is my huge ramble to say how much I love Lincoln Campbell. I loved him and Daisy together. Static Quake were my favourite ship in this show. And this wasn't a show I went into it intending to ship anything. I mean, I ship Fitzsimmons, I ship Belinda, I ship Mac and Yo-Yo. Well, what is their ship name? Is it just, I don't know. I ship those ships and like I really like them. But this show isn't just about the ships. But I like Daisy and Lincoln far more than I ever thought I would. And so the fact that the show is honouring that and having Daisy be realistic, you don't just move on from someone that you were in love with, especially someone that, you know, they die and you're still in love with them. It's going to be something you take with you. So I appreciate that more than I can put into words. I've tried to put it into words, but I'm failing. I want Daisy, like I said, I want Daisy to move on. I want Daisy to find happiness, and, you know, I would love for her to fall in love with someone else and be happy. I think, you know, we're getting to a point where realistically she would be able to move on. Like, time has passed. It's not the next season. So yeah, I just really enjoyed that, and I love her dynamic with Deke. I'm happy with them being friends. I doesn't need to be anything more. So I'm really, really enjoying that. That's my favourite part of the show so far. At the moment, sorry, favourite part of the show at the moment. Along with Coulson, May and Daisy's little family relationship, because they stay true to each other. They're not fighting and arguing. They can have disagreements and yet still be true to each other. So I'm kind of hoping, as we're coming up to really, really near the end of the season, that the team is going to start gelling again and working, because there's a chance this is going to be our final ever Agents of S.h.i.e.L.D. season, and I can't understand why they've said they've written the finale as though it's the last ever episode. They want more, but they're aware that they might not get more. So why have they chosen this season to make them all hate each other and fight all the time? And I'm just not enjoying it. I want some episodes where they're a family, they're a team again, so I'm really hoping we get that soon. I'm sure I've got a very unpopular opinion with that, but yeah. So, I mean, that was a really, really good episode. Other than the element of the show I'm not enjoying at the moment, on the whole it was a brilliant episode and I cannot wait to watch more. And then we've got Daisy, who at the end, okay, they got captured and I thought, that's bad, they were captured on the ship, and then he's just given Daisy over to s.h.i.e.L.D. I mean, what on earth is going to happen there? Because it's not good. It's really, really not good. I'm not happy with that. Again, Daisy in that position being sold and or given, it's not good. I'm very stressed. I'm sure she's going to escape somehow, but I just, I don't know. I don't like it. I'm very tense now. I'm going to be nervous about Daisy all week. Yes, I'm going to die for Daisy this week, not knowing what's going to happen next. But yes, that's my reaction. Thank you for watching.